Hi, we're going to be fighting circumference today. The rule for circumference is take the diameter and times it by pi, because remember it takes 3.14 diameters to go all the way around a circle. So we need to remember that if they give us a radius, no big deal. We just need to take that radius and times it by 2. 2 radiuses get you all the way across the circle. So I'll say diameter pi or twice the radius pi. So when we're looking at this, they're going to be asking us for an exact answer, which all you do is you stick in the diameter in front of the pi, and then they're going to ask you to make an estimation using 3.14 for pi and rounding your answer to either the nearest tenth or the nearest hundredth. So pay attention to the rounding because that will get your answer right or wrong as well. So for this one right here, I'm going to start by writing down my rule. Circumference is equal to diameter pi. I am looking for circumference, so that's my unknown. And this is a diameter. So I'm going to put it under the D. Okay, and it says leave your answer in terms of pi. That's it. I'm done. My circumference is 46 pi. It's like 46x or 46m. It is an expression, and it's the most exact answer. This is what scientists would use because they would take out pi to as many decimal places as they need it to be. Remember, pi never ends and never repeats. But sometimes you're just trying to make a close estimation. You're like, it doesn't need to be exact. I'm not going to shoot a rocket to Mars. So in that case, we often use 3.14 for pi. Don't use the pi button on your calculator because it probably takes out pi to more than these number of decimals, and it'll get your answer wrong. So if it says type in 3.14, type in 3.14. So this is the diameter. And this is the estimation we want to use. This is the exact answer, and this is going to get us someplace close. I did that multiplying earlier, and let me just get you the answer for that. It is 144.44 centimeters. Be careful and make sure that it doesn't ask you to round it to a certain value. Let me work on my contrast here. That's a little better. Okay, now this one, they've tried to trick you. Ooh, they've given you a radius instead of a diameter. But remember, our rule is circumference equals to diameter pi. So if they give you a diameter, if they give you a radius, you need to double this. Okay. Why do I need to double this? Because my rule needs a diameter. Okay. Or another option is to use the rule twice the radius pi. Twice the radius is just the diameter. So this, I'm going to be using 18 here because I want the number that goes all the way across. Doubling 9 is how I got that 18. And the distance around in terms of pi would be 18 pi. This would be my answer. That's the exact answer. Okay. But most of the time we just want an estimation. So we would take that pi and we would plug in the estimation of 3.14. Again, don't use the pi button on your calculator. If you use the pi button, it's right here on my calculator. It's the shift feature. It's not going to work. You're going to have too exact of an answer. So if it says use 3.14, use 3.14. If it says use 3.14159, use that. And I worked that out earlier, and I got 56.52. And it looks like I have forgotten to put my units on here. This one should be feet. This one should be feet. This one should be centimeters, and that one was centimeters. One more problem, okay, and we're going to be working backwards. So here's an example already typed up that's similar to this if you need another example. So my favorite restaurant, Jalisco's, has these big round tables in the back, and the circumference of that table is 21.98 feet. So that's the distance around. And what we're trying to figure out is how wide is it? Wide is just another way of saying what's the diameter. So I'm going to start with my same rule. Circumference is equal to diameter times pi. And I'm going to plug in the 21.98. And I'm going to plug in my pi, because all I really need here is an estimation. Probably should say in that problem, use 3.14 for your pi. Okay, so unlike the earlier problems where I was looking for circumference, this one I know the circumference and I'm going to work backwards to try to figure out the diameter. Well, you've worked backwards how many times this quarter? If we multiply to go forward, we would divide to go backwards. And I'm going to take 21 and 98 hundredths and divide it on a calculator by 3.14. Okay, so let me go ahead and get my calculator out and do this one with you. So 21.98 divided by 3.14. Why am I dividing? Because I'm working backwards. I know the circumference this time, and I'm looking for the diameter. That's where we get the 7 feet from. No big deal. Okay, if you want some more examples, over here is where you can go, and I'll do a couple more quickly. Okay, so this one here, here's a few more examples in case you need it. The exact answer would be 12 pi. That is what you would put if it wants exact. Okay, diameter, pi. If they ask for an estimation, you would do 10 times 3.14, which is 31.4, whatever the units are. That's it. Here's the estimation. Exact answer, estimation. Let's look at this one here. This one right here would be 400 pi. That's my exact answer. The diameter, pi. Diameter, pi. This is the diameter. And if you were going to estimate that, you would do 400 times 3.14. I did that earlier. I got 12.5 and whatever those units are. So if it asks you for an exact answer, if it asks you for an estimation. And then the hard one, ooh, they're trying to trick you, giving you a radius. So here I would need to figure out the diameter, which is 12. All the way across that circle would be 12. So it's 12 pi. That's the exact. And the estimation would be 12.3.14, which would be 37.68, whatever those units are. So often it's going to ask you for exact. This is the exact, just the diameter in front of pi. When it asks you for an estimation, okay, plug it in and multiply it out. Don't forget to round your numbers, whatever the directions ask you for.